Doug.
Hey, Dawnna.
I'm getting my papers over here. All right. Let's do it. I'm always jamming out before we come live. The music is really helpful.
I love it. I know. I was too. I was like, oh, let's just keep that going.
I know. I love the music before we get started. All right. So this is our behind the scenes Fyrebrand live sales meeting. I have a meeting at 11, so we only have about 15, 20 minutes. So it's going to be a short one, but I wanted to
Yep.
make sure that we covered everything you got. And if we need to do another one later, we can.
Okay. Sounds good. Should I just jump into it?
Jump in. Let's go.
All right. Here we go. So I was speaking to a woman. She's in the early stages of her business.
Okay.
She is actually working on what the actual message is and the audience she wants to work with. So she wants to reach women and speak on developing confidence. She's been working a bit on her methodology to do that, but she wants to be super clear. So my question for you is, Dawnna, like I've heard you speak about the importance of methodology and then obviously the business focus, the expertise, the ideal client, the delivery. I'm just wondering if you could maybe clarify how do those all go together and what's most important first in terms of where
Yeah.
she should start?
So for sure, it sounds like just based on, and I know how you write notes, so you usually take notes in the way that people give them to you. So from the way it sounds like she's out of order. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And let me explain by what I mean by out of order.
Yep.
Hey, good morning, Dawnna. I see you joining us for our live sales meeting. So the one thing that I will tell you that she's doing is she's doing this out of order. She's starting with her messaging, which is under marketing on the methodology. So the methodology from 1 to 6 is expertise, ideal client, delivery, which has to do with the experience, the price, the product, the details, all that stuff. Right. So that's actually the offering. And then marketing, client engagement, and sales, right? So going all the way around. So if she's talking about messaging, she's all the way over in marketing, but she has not yet defined her ideal client 100%. She has not defined yet her methodology, which is under expertise. She's trying to create a message that's super clear, and she hasn't done the other things yet. So she's really out of order. So what happens is people go, well, I'm going to work on my message and I'm going to backfill everything. It's going to frustrate the hell out of her. The other thing is I hear this a lot. People say I'm in the early stages of my career and of being a coach, and I don't necessarily, or being an entrepreneur, and I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm going to go out and just do it by myself. I never understand that. Like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to completely screw up and waste a whole bunch of money and develop all these bad habits so that somebody has to come back and break all those bad habits and explain to me everything I did wrong so I'll do it right. Like, it's the same as somebody going and doing, learning how to golf by themselves and doing just really poorly, and then the coach has to constantly correct all this bad behavior. It takes 2 to 3 times as long when you do it that way. And I have no idea why people insist on doing it that way. It makes absolutely no sense. And I mean, listen, I went and got coaches that were not great coaches, but yet and still with those not great coaches, I learned a shit ton. It made a huge difference in how quickly I was able to grow my business. People always say, how did you grow it so fast? Because I was smart enough to know there was a bunch of stuff I didn't know. And even a person who didn't know everything still knew more than me. Get someone that will coach you from jump and take you out. As long as you are an expert in your industry, coach or a consultant, so you know your stuff, you are sitting here going, I need my methodology. Great. How much methodology development experience do you have? Because if the answer is 0, you probably really need to sit with someone who knows how to develop methodology. I mean, there aren't a lot of us on the planet, quite honestly, that actually know how to do it. But someone who'll actually sit with you and help you develop your methodology. Because most of the time people screw up and they create a methodology, and that methodology is only good for that one ideal client, which means it's not a good methodology, and it's not a methodology. That's just tactics. That's just steps. That's not a methodology.
Okay.
Anyway, we can help her, but she's doing things out of order at this point. She needs to start with her expertise and her methodology. She needs to work with someone who's actually going to help her solidify that methodology, and then from there, look at her ideal client. By the way, women who want to develop confidence is not a tight enough, um, that's really not a tight enough niche. She's at all. And this is what I mean. She's chasing the negative, right?
Oh,
Right. It's that, I want the person who's broken, busted, downtrodden, whatever, somebody who lacks confidence. Okay. But what do they have instead? You might know that more confidence is the answer, but the person that you're talking to, I bet you they don't necessarily know that. So you need to go after something else that they're clear on. Like my ideal client, expert, consultant, coach. They already have clients. They're doing pretty well. They know they could be doing a hell of a lot better. They're getting people there to the goal. They're not, a lot of times they're not sure exactly how they're getting to the goal, but they are. And what they want is they want something a little bit more consistent, where I know consistently I can get people to the goal. I have a structure in place. I would like to turn that structure into a 6-figure quarter, 6-figure month, 6-figure weeks. And if you're anything like me, 6-figure days, right? And I want a coach that specifically has that area of expertise, has done it for themselves, has done it for others, and they will do it for me. That's who my ideal client is, right? So my ideal client, I've had lawyers like Dawnna, Dawnna Winterfunde, who actually is an immigration law attorney, and she runs an immigration law academy, to help people add immigration law to their own business so that they can create a lifestyle business that lawyers dream of. She's an expert in her industry. I have people who were CPAs that are now social media domination experts that teach people how to do 6 months of social media domination in 6 days. What I think is so funny is Chanel, who runs that, will send a lot of people and go, you're not ready for this because you don't even have your messages really together, or your ideal client, or exactly what you do. So did that answer your question?
yeah, it did. And what I really took away from that, Dawnna, is you said consistency and methodology, and that I'm making a connection between the consistency and the methodology needs to be in place so that it can be applied in different areas, and it's not just like one specific thing. So that's
It's
what
so
I'm
you can
really
help
hearing.
people yeah, your methodology. Listen, the millions is in your methodology, and your methodology is what helps people get consistent results. It's exactly why I was like, oh, she's doing things out of order, because I'm literally going, this is where she is, and she's saying she doesn't have this. If you don't have this, then how are you doing this? Like,
Right,
right.
right,
I'm following a very consistent methodology, so for me, getting the answers is a lot faster.
right. No, that was very clarifying. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Um, Next situation I'm going to share with you is a person who is moving from in-person counseling to online courses.
Mhm.
And I think they're planning to record them from Zoom to a private YouTube channel and embed them. I
Yeah.
haven't had a lot of time to talk to them yet.
And they're going to sell them online, and they're going to make,
Yeah, something like that.
because that
And
is such a novel idea, and no one's ever done it. And no one is taking all of their content and putting it online and trying to sell it. And yeah, because no one has a phone and can make recordings and do that. Listen, I get it. There are people out here that make it sound so easy, right? Yeah, I just go online and I sell this stuff. I'm going to tell you the secret. Here's the truth.
okay.
No, they don't.
Oh,
No, they don't. You might accidentally fall into some money doing a couple of online courses here and there. But quite honestly, in order to make that work, they might be telling you these big revenue numbers. Let's say their revenue number is like, yeah, I did $100,000 last month. What they didn't tell you is that they spent $95,000 in Facebook ads.
mm,
Right. So their profit margin is extremely low. And by the way, that is not an over exaggerated number. That is a real number.
mm,
And so what you really want to ask yourself is this. What you want to say is, okay, if you cannot sell your group program, your group coaching, and your group stuff first before you, and then sell your online stuff, it's not going to work. If you think I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to take everything that I do in person, which has my personal touch, and I'm just going to record me and put it online and everyone's going to buy, you're sadly mistaken. It is totally not how it works. It really doesn't. And I know there are so many people out here who makes it look like that's how it works. There are more people out there that have videos online right now that they want people to buy that are getting absolutely no traction. It is why people like Grant Cardone have a 3-day event to sell his online course. If he could just sell his online course without, and he's a billionaire and everyone knows who he is.
Mm-hmm.
So if he could just sell that online course, why would he bother with a 3-day event? Because he
Right.
knew in order to get people into the online course, he has to have the in-person event first. If she's only going to sell it to the people that are currently meeting her in person, great.
Okay.
But if she's talking about, I'm going to go and sell this and put it online and everyone's going to buy it, she's going to be really disappointed.
Mm-hmm. And this is kind of where I know I've heard you talk about like the know, like, and trust factor. Is that
Right.
where this kicks in?
Yeah, because people really have to know you. They have to like you. They have to, well, first of all, they have to know who you are. They have to honestly, they have to trust you even if they don't like you, quite honestly. And if they trust you and they don't like you, they'll probably watch your video just to get the content, but they're never going to work with you. Right? If they like and
Right.
trust you, this is usually like, okay, I like and trust this guy, but I'm not going to sit here and how much money is she talking about selling these for? If she wants to do something like that, I would tell, I was going to say, I would tell them to go and use Udemy. Like at least there's a platform that they could actually, and by the way, this person just wrote, people have made millions on Udemy with no live event. Very, very, very few people have made millions on Udemy with no live event. So, yes, if you want to be the one special little acorn who happens to make it, sure. But show me the step by step golden path to get to those millions. Show me the step by step path to get to those golden millions on Udemy and Skillshare. Because I guarantee you there are more people not making millions than the one little special unicorns that are. I'm not trying to get people to chase after fake dreams that might happen but probably won't after they spend tens of thousands of dollars. I'm really working on people to get to damn near guaranteed cash. And I can tell you right now, go and look up how many copywriting courses there are on Udemy. People who literally know marketing and copywriting, and then count how many actually are making good money. And that number is very, very low. You can accidentally fall into a bunch of money, but you will not purposefully stay rich and wealthy.
Yeah, it's almost a little bit like people who are kind of building their business on free. A little bit like some of those Udemy courses I know are even free
One
courses.
second. One second. Somebody wrote, many people have a great freedom business. It's not all about the millions. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. First
Okay.
of all, first of all, regardless of whether you like it or not, money buys you choices. And the more choices you have, the more freedom you have. So while you might not think it's about the millions, see how many choices you can make when you don't have money. It's not very much. You need money to make choices. So while you might think that I'm selling money, what I'm really selling is the ability to have more choices. And I'm not selling the pipe dream of going put a video out on some website. Do you know how many YouTube channels that are out there that get no views, no clicks, no looks, no likes? Do you know the amount of money that you have to have upfront for marketing investment to make that happen? And do you know that how many times you'll make that marketing investment and that goes absolutely nowhere? You got to be absolutely positively real with yourself. I'm talking about making real money with real people on a regular basis, doing something exclusive and not doing these videos online in hopes that maybe one day somebody will click and buy. Not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying the path to get there is not that common because all of us have cell phones and all of us can do it. Okay, sorry.
Gotcha. Yep, that's no problem. I know too, you had said that you had a coaching call yesterday that you were gonna film. I'm just curious how it went.
Oh, yeah. So we had a coaching call specifically. It was on writing great emails. And here's a challenge that people run into in regards to writing great emails. So they write a great email. You look at it grammatically, it's perfect. Everything about it is perfect. But at the end of the day, when you look at what that perfection looks like, it was all features and no benefits.
Mm,
right? It was all features and no benefits. And your customer is buying results and benefits. They're not just buying features. And so what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're really, really diving into identifying the benefits within what you write. And if you write a stat, then you want to follow up that stat with why that stat is important to your ideal client. And for the person who said, I don't need millions to have lots of great choices, I didn't say you did. What I said is the more money you have, the more choices you have. It's that simple. And so, quite honestly, without a certain amount of money, you can't choose to get on a private jet. Whether you want to or not is irrelevant. You simply can't. So,
Yeah.
right? It's that simple. And so, I get what you're saying, but I would. So if you don't need millions or whatever to have great choices, then what I'd like you to do is take 99.9% of your money and give it away to people and live on the 1%, because obviously money isn't that important and you can make a whole bunch of choices without it. So anyway, yeah, make sure that you're including your benefits and not just features. And people write a lot of features in their emails. So a feature might say like, we have this thing, which is great. Like they said, one of the things they said is we'll give you a list of high risk vendors. Okay, so I have a list. You're going to prioritize by high risk vendor. That's not really a benefit. The benefit is we're going to help you mitigate risk by first identifying and correcting your high risk vendors. So it's not just about having the list, it's about what I'm going to do with the list in order to have a benefit. So what do I really, really want?
And it's the benefit part of it that's going to make people
The
feel more
benefit is
compelled
what,
to click.
yeah, because now they're saying, oh, that's what I want. They're not looking for an optimized list. They're looking
Yep.
for the benefit of the optimized list.
Right. What do they want?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I really, really like that. Very good. Thank you very much.
We only got 3 more minutes. Was there any other person that you wanted to cover?
I think those were the big ones right now, Dawnna.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and so anyway, we have the event coming up. Let me know how we're doing on filling that in.
I did have one quick question on the event. I'm sorry, I forgot.
It's okay.
Can you explain a little bit of the difference just between the day 1 and the day 2, the marketing audacity and the client attraction?
Yeah, so day 1 is really about how to market to your ideal client. So for example, my ideal client is who I described earlier, and they recognize that the more financial freedom they have, the more choices they have, and that's what they're looking for. That's number 1. And so it's about market audacity and how to talk to your target rich environment and not everyone. That's number 1. And how to get that target rich environment to be attractive. And we actually take them through the plan. They actually do stuff there. It's not just about talking about it, it's about doing the work. And then day 2 is all about client engagement. So we actually have a funnel that we use. It's very, very, very specific. And we show people how to use this funnel, but we design it specific to their business. So it's not just what worked for our business. We show them that, but then we're like, no, if you're doing this, this is that kind of funnel. If you're doing this, this is that kind of funnel. And then on top of that, we explain to them where some funnels, why they're so much more expensive than other funnels. And it's generally because there's no human interaction. So we really want to talk about the value of client engagement and how client engagement increases the amount of money that you make per customer by about 30%. And then it's really cool. And then the last thing is sales acceleration. Every sales book that's out there is literally written for the sales pro. But most people who are coaches, consultants, and experts aren't sales pros. They're coaches, consultants, and experts. And they have this natural ability to listen and talk and communicate. We actually show them how to use their natural ability to coach for the sale rather than to sell to get more coaching. It's a completely different way. So it uses more of their natural abilities to be a badass.
Love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, that's all I got. I love the comments and conversation. I have no problem, by the way, people going in and having a differing opinion. Just understand. Doesn't mean I'm gonna be quiet on mine. Anyway, I gotta go. My meeting is starting in 1 minute, so I'll talk to you later. Have a great one, Doug. Let me know if you need anything else. Just hit me up.
Okay.
All right.
All right, will do. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Yep. Bye.